Cleveland, it is time to rise up, overthrow the politicians and bosses that would oppress us. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Or you can sit and watch some gnarly movies with me while we drink some Monster and eat some gummy bears. Whatever makes you happy. I am your cousin Bobby, and tonight we watch Animal Farm. Released in 1954, this is an animated adaptation of the classic novel. Now, animated doesn't mean you should go upstairs and wake the kiddos. This film is a bit brutal for that, featuring the menace and death that was very prominent in the book.
You guys want to go see a dead body?
But hey, maybe your kids like that kind of stuff. Again, do whatever makes you happy. This film has a bit of an odd background to it. It was actually funded by the CIA. Yes, horror hounds, that CIA. If you were paying attention at all in history class, unlike me,
I know that, dude.
you would remember that the US and the Soviet Union were locked in the Cold War at this point. And of course, since Dwight D. Eisenhower and Nikita Khrushchev wouldn't meet in a steel cage to settle their differences like normal people, it all came down to saber rattling with nuclear arms like maniacs. Part of this saber rattling came down to propaganda efforts. And in the novel Animal Farm, the CIA believed they had an effective tool. So they bought the film rights from George Orwell's widow. And if you think Orwell himself would have been happy with this, maybe you should go read the novel he wrote that talked about what society would be like if we were under constant surveillance and fed a steady diet of propaganda, and then tell me how much he would have liked to have been in bed with the CIA. Anyways, they take those film rights and a wad of cash and give them to Louis de Rochemont. Rochemont was the co-creator of the news series, The March of Time, which were newsreels that were shown before the feature film at movie theaters. If you need more explanation than that, I recommend waking up a grandparent or great-grandparent and asking them to explain it to you. I'm sure they won't be salty at all that you woke them up. Okay, so Rochemont sought out British animation company Hollis and Batchelor, who are primarily known for making propaganda films during World War II. Their first feature film was 1945's Handling Ships, which is considered by some to be the first British animated film, even though it was never released in theaters. It's said that the animation company had no idea the CIA was funding production, but I'm pretty sure a bunch of wartime propagandists would have been totally okay with it.
That'll do, Pig. That'll do.
So that leaves this odd little adaptation. It's not totally up to snuff with the original novel, especially since it has a happier ending that was no doubt guided by the CIA. That said, it doesn't really work as propaganda because the story can't help but keep the dim view that Orwell held of those who hold power. Like, sure, it's about communism under Stalin, but who do you think the humans are? Hint, it rhymes with mu-s-fay. So like, good job, CIA. You released a cartoon about how authority is terrible no matter what, and we should just revolt against our overlords and let anarcho-collectivism reign. Thanks, fellas. Anyways, grab some bacon and a big glass of milk, strap in, and prepare yourselves for Animal Farm. let's talk about how while the US was out here making cutesy cartoons that would surely never warp children, our friends across the ocean in England have a history of making cartoons that will surely destroy children's minds and any hope they have for the future. It's the British way. What's that? You think it's all whimsy and cheese like in the Wallace and Gromit movies? Ha! Nope. Besides tonight's feature, you had movies like 1978's Watership Down, which has to be Elmer Fudd's favorite movie because it features a whole lot of rabbit death. Or there's 1982's Plague Dogs, which is the heartwarming tale of two dog friends who escape certain vivisection and the clutches of gun-toting humans. Or hey, if you want something nice and calm, maybe spend some time with the nice elderly couple in 1986's When the Wind Blows, as they die from radiation poisoning caused by a nuclear missile explosion. We'll be back with more of England's dark side right here on TV 20.
I came from 5 generations of teachers. Losing my job was the bottom falling out of my world.
Hi there, time for Timer, your roving reporter. I'm talking to you from inside a fantastic factory, your digestive system. You know what we build here? You! Not out of wood or metal, but out of food. You see, you are what you eat, from your head down to your feet. Things like meat and eggs and fish you need to build up muscle tissue. Uh-oh. Hello, appetite control, more protein. We need energy. Playing tennis today, you know. Whoops. All these motors in your body need a lot of fuel to go on, like carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, vitamins, and so on. What's left over forms the building blocks you need, indeed, to grow on. Yes, you are what you swallow, so that next time you feel hollow, don't just fill your face with any old kind of treat. This goes for every kid or 6-foot athlete. All you really are is what you eat.
Your girls have been with you through every moment. But how well do you know them?
You don't know my name.
Okay, Cleveland, your cousin Bobby back here with B-Movie Mayhem, and it's rant time! It really bugs me that animation is still considered to be a childish medium by major film studios in this country. People, Adult Swim has been on the air for 20 years, The Simpsons for over 30, and heck, we're a couple years away from the 50th anniversary of Ralph Bakshi's Fritz the Cat, the first ever X-rated animated feature film. When do I get some animated blood and boobies on the big screen? Sure, I'm getting some decent stuff on streaming, but the States are lagging so far behind countries like Japan. Sony, you're a Japanese-based company. You've seen what your countrymen can do, and you released the highest-grossing adult animated feature in Sausage Party. Give us the American Akira or Ghost in the Shell. Warner Brothers, I see you out there releasing R-rated Batman movies like The Killing Joke and Gotham by Gaslight. Take the next step, you cowards! Disney, I know you have a reputation to protect, but would it hurt to have Elsa drop an F-bomb? Heck, you can keep things classy and do an animated adaptation of The Great Gatsby or The Grapes of Wrath. Heck, meet us halfway and replace the humans with animals. I know that's in your wheelhouse. Anyways, back to Animal Farm. Hey, Doug,
Yeah, Bobby?
you seen that meme about how you put food in your mask and you can have a snack all day? Like it's some kind of human feed bag?
Yeah, I did see that.
Want to give it a try?
Gummy bears!
Announcing the 1978 gas guzzlers. As tested by EPA, 17 new models get less than 16 miles per gallon. Now, don't judge by size alone, and don't get duped. Millions of Americans cheat themselves every year by pouring hard-earned cash into one of those. Don't be one of them. Get this, the 1978 gas mileage guide. The difference could be $600 or $700 a year in the cost of gasoline alone. The 1978 gas guzzler. Don't come home driving one.
Oh man, this is a life.
Best idea ever.
Oh, I'm gonna do this forever. Not a whole lot of dialogue in this movie, huh? The voice cast consists of two people. Gordon Heath, who does the narration, and Maurice Denham, who does all the voices. Heath was an American actor and musician who appeared in several plays and movies. He mainly worked as a stage actor, mostly on Broadway and London's West End, though he did appear in several films, including lead roles in live BBC telecasts of The Emperor Jones and Othello. Now, Denham was a British character actor who appeared in over 100 TV shows and films. Notable films for him include 1948's Oliver Twist, 1957's Night of the Demon, and 1973's The Day of the Jackal. We'll be right back.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and...
I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
What's he doing? Why, it's an old superstition. Kissing a donkey relieves a toothache. Well, how about this one? For aching teeth, run 3 times around the church without thinking of a fox. Sound silly? Well, that's what people used to believe. Luckily today, they don't lean on fallacies about dental health. Instead, they've learned the facts. Where some folks used to think of going to a dentist only when they had a toothache, today, they go for regularly scheduled examinations because they know their dentist is a specialist, concerned not only with teeth, but with bone structure, muscles, soft tissues. He can prevent or treat problems which start in the mouth and may affect the entire body. Yes, fallacies about dental health have given way to facts, and it's a good thing for you and your family because a healthy mouth means a happier life.
Cleveland, make your voice heard. I want to know what your favorite adult cartoons are. Or maybe you would like to tell me your favorite political satire. Or maybe just your thoughts on animals. I'm okay with you sending dog pics. Email me at cousinbobby216@gmail.com with your questions, comments, and rants. If you're okay with your email being read on air, please mark it in your subject line. Now time for the wheel to turn again and the revolution to come full circle in the stunning climax to Animal Farm. With the death of Napoleon the Pig and the end of the movie, it's time for the Bobby Score. We have 1 star for Drunk Dogs, 1 star for A Bonfire of the Tools of Oppression, and 1 star for A Pig Party. That's a total of 3 stars. Cousin Bobby says, give me revolution and bacon. We close today, as always, with this metal moment. My personal favorite adult animated movie is 1981's Heavy Metal. Based on the French comic series of the same name, Heavy Metal is a sci-fi and fantasy anthology that features wild animation and a lot of incredibly out there and brutal stories. It has aliens, zombies, monsters, barbarians, everything you could want from a sci-fi bonanza. The movie actually features work from a lot of notable artists across several mediums. There's voice work from Harold Ramis, Eugene Levy, and John Candy. There was writing from Dan O'Bannon, as well as comics legends Richard Corbin and Bernie Wrightson. Speaking of Richard Corbin, the Den segment is actually based on stories and characters he created. There's also 2 segments, Harry Canyon and Tarna, based on stories from French artist and cartoonist Moebius. The soundtrack isn't as heavy metal tinged as I would prefer, but it does feature songs by Nazareth and Blue Oyster Cult, as well as one of Black Sabbath's best songs, Mob Rules. It also features the only good Sammy Hagar song, Heavy Metal. That's all we have for tonight, Cleveland. Remember to email me at cousinbobby216@gmail.com and to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Thanks to my production partner, Pat Longbreak, as well as the entire crew here at TV20, especially Doug Phil, our graphic designer, Jeff Agneberg, and Bryce Norton, who wrote and performed our theme music. Get some sleep, Cleveland. Everyone in a revolution needs to engage in radical self-care, which includes getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Good night and sweet dreams.
The sandwich is practically an American institution. It is a basic essential for lunch boxes, parties, and picnics. As far as these boys are concerned, well, hamburgers and hot dogs are their idea of a really good meal. But there are sandwiches and sandwiches. When Sally Gasco and her mother bring guests home for a late snack after a movie, they have something special in the way of a sandwich in mind. Sally calls it tuna rarebit. Let's watch how she makes it. This is a sandwich for forks, an open-face creation, in other words, with a cheese, milk, and tuna fish mixture on top. The basis will be rye bread, Mother's idea. She found that the spicy caraway flavor made a good contrast to the bland fish and cheese. Sally puts a cube, about a square inch, of butter into the top of a double boiler.
A little butter finds its way into a great many dishes in this kitchen, not only for flavor, but as a blending agent. Part of the trick to entertaining unexpected guests is keeping on hand certain generally useful foods. One of these is cheese of an easy melting type, which Sally is going to use as a base for the rarebit. To speed the melting, she cuts this into slices in the milk and butter mixture, while Mother butters the bread. The simmer flame keeps the water boiling gently while the cheese is melting, so that Sally can go on to other tasks. She adds the canned chunk-style tuna fish, and notice that she uses a wooden spoon to avoid discoloration of the mixture. Although the tuna rarebit is fairly substantial food in itself, it is a good idea to add something for variation in color and texture. Mother is making a salad dish: celery, radishes, olives, and pickles. Sally adds potato chips to the menu. They used to be exclusively picnic fare, but they've joined the host of useful accessory foods which make entertaining so much easier and more fun for teenagers. The bread was toasted quickly in the broiler, and the rarebit is nearly ready to serve. Let's see, what will be the beverage? Mother thinks she'll give the guests a choice of Coke or milk. When you can offer guests a choice easily, it's a gracious gesture. Now it's time to serve. 2 slices of toast are neatly arranged on each plate, and the filling, or perhaps we should say covering, goes on top. Sally knows you should serve cream dishes with extra caution. An effective carelessness here is no asset. Mother is a great believer in the aesthetic value of parsley, and of course it's good to eat, too. Now a touch of Tabasco for color and a taste surprise, and there's tuna rarebit a la Sally Gasco. As we said, there are sandwiches and sandwiches. A wise young homemaker using good techniques and equipment and a little imagination can turn a sandwich into festive fare.